Hi, how is everybody doing today? Well, I have some food in here to draw as a part of my as a part of me learning how to draw food and how to draw food properly. But today it's subs know best, meaning that all of my subscribers from June can order me around and collaborate together to come up with a piece for me to draw and complete in 2 hours. It's always chaotic, it's always fun. So yeah, so right now I'm waiting up till well, I started later, so up till 20 past 8, so around 11 minutes for more people to come, for my subscribers to come and just, go ham. In the meantime, I will try and do these studies. You're Peter Meter Chocolate! Hello, how are you doing? Yes, I remember you. I am doing fine. I'm doing okay. I'm doing alright. I am finally back because I took a week off from streaming. I had some family issues that I need to help and take care about. So I'm back. This is why the subscriber stream is right now and not at the end of the month, because this is the subscriber stream for June and not for July. For July will be at the end of this month. But yeah, to make up for it, I'm having the subscriber raffle right now. But yeah, my god, here is a lot of time. How have I been? Well, I gained some space because right now I am the only person occupying this room, which is great, which allows me to, just spread with all my clutter and all my supplies. In the meantime, I also started postgrad study, which also takes a lot of my time. But I am still persisting, I am still here, I am still persisting. I am trying to learn new things. My comic is still there. I just finished working on backgrounds for this page. It wasn't that hard, but I had some troubles with motivation on top of my regular workload and my postgrad study, and it's just all over the place. But thankfully, my postgrad study has a break right now, a summer break, so I can come back to what I love the most, which is art. And yeah, and throughout this year, 2024, I decided to participate. Let me open this. Yeah, I started to do the Art Goals Bingo. This is the bingo card that I customize it for myself to have things that I want to focus on and work on. So for example, there is a lot of studies because I want to focus on those to learn how to do things properly. There are some crafting projects, like making a diorama, making mini instruments, and also some ongoing projects like compiling Second Chance PDF, which means digitizing Second Chance till the end, finishing chapter 4 of Never Too Late, because oh my god, this chapter takes forever. I am right now on page 34 of chapter 4. I don't know how many I will do, but it will probably land around 50 pages around this. But yeah, I was doing anatomy studies on stream as well. I bought vintage anatomy book. I have some other downloaded anatomy resources, and I was slowly learning how to properly draw each body part, each muscle part, name them and such. And it's I try to fill the bingo. The plan was to treat myself with like a special book or a plushie or something like fancy, well, for an artist, you know. Every time I hit the bingo, well, I haven't hit any bingo as of right now, and I'm kind of like worrying because half of the year has already passed, but I will try and throughout this month, throughout the summer break, power through some studies in my own time, power through some crafts in my own time, so to, you know, check the boxes and be satisfied. But yeah, it's okay, it's all fine. So in the meantime, while I'm waiting for the subs, for my subs to come, let me great, not this layer. Let me prepare this canvas and do some studies with the food, because this is like, as you see, these two plates that you see drawn, these two plates drawn right here, are they are drawn by me back in 2021. It is for chapter 2 of Never Too Late. They appeared in chapter 2. And yeah, I don't know what kind of, you know, produce they were supposed to be. But you see, this is why I wanted to study how to draw food properly, because my food looks not appetizing, like at all. Well, it kind of makes sense because in this scene, like, it makes sense that it doesn't look appetizing much, both for the audience and for the character. But yeah, I want to learn how to draw like food properly. And for example, one of my first studies with food was this cake. The reference was provided by Barry, and yeah, and I dug through the tutorials on how to draw good food, how to draw nice food, what kind of layer setting can I use, is there like any like tricks that I can use in order to make the food like look more tasty. And yeah, and I think I figured this out. I also do the food study with watercolor, and I drew a very nice realistic donut. I'm very happy about it. And I am also yet to do the same study, like a piece of food but in different media with colored pencils, because this is like my media, like one of the media I use the most. And also with alcohol markers, because I think this would be like interesting to try alcohol markers with something that, like, a medium I don't use that much, with a topic of a picture, which is food, that I also don't draw too much. But yeah, so up until people come, I will be working on this, talking a little bit about what I learned, and just trying to use these references in order to draw something tasty and something normal. So let me start with the background. Yes, let me start with the background. Like, both of these will be on the same background and the same like plate, in order to save me like the trouble of coming up with the plate. Also, it will show, by drawing the same food that I drew like this 3 years ago, it will show me how much I learned throughout these studies, and how much my art improved. So this is always something like nice to see. So this will be a redraw of what I have here. So okay, so white. Let me take the off-white color that I use and place a plate, preferably okay. So this is the plate, and this would be the inside of the plate. Let me just align it properly and shade a little bit. You know, do something with the setting, do something around, do something good with the setting. Okay, where would the, okay, let's have the light source from upper right. So let's put a faint, really faint shading underneath the plate, and a little bit of wood texture on this table. So let me get a texture brush, a ruler brush. Oh, this would be nice. And this would be a so I use this diagonal line brush and just make some horizontal lines. They don't need to be straight because wood grain is like not straight. Let's lower the opacity and blur it a bit, Gaussian blur, so it won't look that artificial. I will set this on multiply. Yeah. Okay, so this is like a very basic wooden. Let's maybe feather the, let's feather the, feather out the background. I don't know, I feel like these like jagged lines don't fit it like well. Usually when I see like food illustrations, like the background is a little bit of an afterthought. Well, maybe not an afterthought, like the background, well, means a lot in food pictures, but yeah, let's make it like more soft, because I think it is like a deliberate choice to keep the food that you're drawing or taking a photo of focused and the background slightly blurred, so I think it will just add to it. Okay, and now let's add on top soft light in let's mark where the light is coming from. Oh, it looks so nice already. Okay, now the plate. I usually like shading with like so So it comes from upper, so first surface is a little bit angled, so there will be a bit of an shadow here, then a bit small shadow here, and the shadow around the edge. Okay, let me now. Dyerson! Welcome to the stream! Well, I am the person who, well, I had broccoli even today for a dinner, so yeah, I am the person who doesn't mind having broccoli and just eating broccoli, but you know, to each their own. I was always like, I know this is like such a stereotypically unliked food, especially by children, and I only know this from cartoons, because before I even tasted broccoli, like IRL, I already knew from cartoons that it's like just generally you know. But I was eager to try and to check if it's really as ew as, you know, people claim to be. It turns out it is not. And I actually don't mind broccoli, like, but I don't like for example Brussels sprouts. I really don't like those, and I don't like red beet. Really not liking this one, which is like a blasphemy for some people. Okay, yeah. The stalks, yeah, they can go away. So yeah. So let's now get the new layer and sketch something. So I want to have the placement the same as in the original picture. So I will trace around the sketch. So I'll quickly like trace. And then move the sketch onto the proper plate and do line art on that. And I will see where did I go wrong with my previous attempt. So let me get the sketch, enlarge it, and place it. And because the plate is in a perspective, let me transform it appropriately so it looks like it's laying nice on a plate. Yeah, okay. And now let's go to line art. So this bottom one, the bottom picture, is fried pork chop right here, puree from cooked potatoes and cooked broccoli, cooked/steamed broccoli sprouts. So yeah. So first thing I see when I search for this product is that I tend to choose so desaturated colors. They look even green. Like, look at the wrong layer. Look at the color of these pork chop, of this fried pork chop that I choose from like just choose from the color wheel, picked it by you know, by my feeling, and how freaking you know, sometimes red, orange, like how saturated are the colors of the one picked from photo. Like this is something that I clearly need to work on, like to see the difference. Same for broccoli. Look, this is the color of the broccoli sprouts, and this is the main color of the potatoes that I took. And when I pick from the picture, like the saturation, like look at the saturation of these, the brightness and saturation. This is where it seems that my colors are muddy, especially right now in food. My colors are muddy. They don't look appetizing. Like sometimes, like in this case, like the character is refusing to eat food, and I mean, right now, in the hindsight, it is actually okay to draw food a little bit more disgusting, so the character sees, you as a viewer see the food the same as the character. But this wasn't my intention when I was drawing this like picture. Like as I said, in hindsight, it makes sense that I drew this like crap. But I actually tried to draw a normal freaking dinner. You know, a normal freaking dinner. Same in here, although here it looks slightly better. I remember I dropped the colors from the photo. So upper one is the peas and carrot. Peas and carrots cooked or steamed, rice, and grilled chicken breast. So yeah, so I think, oh wait, maybe I will just do this on a side. So yeah, let me color pick from the picture and just put it, let's put it beside here, like 2 colors for the broccoli sprout, 1 color for the broccoli stem, a proper color for potatoes, and a selection of color for the pork chop, to always have them on hand. Especially the ones that are more shaded or slightly burnt. And also, which also leads me to the next point on how to draw food. Like the main like advice that I saw from artist to artist on how to draw food, like how to draw tasty food, is to look at the saturation and bump it up and use warm colors, like more greens, yellow and reds, because these are usually the colors like that food has, you know, more natural color for the food. You know, you rarely see like purely blue food. Like, you know that something like some artificial coloring had to be like inside. And not even blueberries are not even blue. They are purple. Like they are slightly, the coating is slightly desaturated blue, almost like black, but the inside, or when you ground or blend blueberries, they are purple. Like, everything is a lie, you know? So yeah, and it makes sense because when you see at the logotypes for fast food brands, like, it is like, I've read that it is kind of psychologically like proven that the natural food colors like green, yellow, and red like make person like make in our brains, in our monkey brains, association with freshness, food, warmth, and like it kind of brings our hunger, like makes us hungry. So this is why all of the fast food chains you see has this like a mix of some of the colors as or a mix of these colors as their logo. And it also makes sense why everything is so saturated to, you know, make it more appealing, because nobody wants to get like this green like it really like looks like this color is really poopy green. But okay, let's go to the line art. So I learned that I need to be a bit more sketchy when it comes to line art, especially when it comes to texture, right? Like fried texture. Like you see, there are no like make my hand a little bit, you know, shaky in order to have like this style of line, to get the texture of the meat, like of the fried meat in this, like this is actually like not a tempura coating, it's like a ground bread coating, ground dried bread coating. So okay, so I will now with the shaky, I think my stabilization is too big. Oh yeah, little bit of shaky arm. To make the texture. Luciana! Hello, welcome to the stream! Don't worry, I wasn't streaming last week, so yeah, so you lost nothing. You lost nothing. And let me do the same like lines, some lines in here to mark the bumps in the textured. Yeah, so you did not forget. The notification did not go out because I wasn't actually streaming. Last week I had a bit of emergency. I needed to help my family. Everything is okay. But yeah, I had to take time off the stream, and I wasn't so sad that I missed Subs No Best, and I missed the next stream after that, and yeah. But I am back in the full swing. So okay, so I think this line art is okay. Now for puree. So puree is more, well, this cooked potatoes were like grounded, beaten, but puree is even finer, so I will try to make it more like fluffy. Yes, mashed potatoes, but here I'm trying to make a puree out of that. So I am trying to make it more smooth. A little bit more smooth in the texture. in the line art than, you know, than the, than the pork chop in tempura. And time for broccoli. So broccoli, okay, very jagged line art on the sprouts, very smooth on the stems. So okay, I will try. So I will start from stems because they are a bit easier. Okay, and time for the very, very shaky line art for the and for the sprouts, and also like forming this, like I was just chopping cauliflower, which is pretty much the same thing structure wise. I was just chopping cauliflower like not long before the stream, so this forms like these clumps together. So I will try to add a little bit more line art here and there with the same jagged line to make it look more like the clumps, and a little bit more like dots and you know, arches, little arches here and there to, you know, give it a bit more texture. And repeat the same in here. But yeah, but how is everybody doing, all of you? There are so much of you today. Like, oh my god, I haven't had a stream like with that many people like in a while. So thank you all so much for taking time of your day to join me here. Okay, I mean it looks like kinda good. Let me just clean up the line art. So I will disable, yeah, I will eat this. What is on this layer? Is this layer empty? This layer is empty, okay. I need, yeah, a clean slate in order to see the... I wanted to clean the line art with my vector eraser. I just realized I wasn't using vector layer for line art. RIP! So I need to use... Oh my god, I need to erase it normally like a peasant. So while I am at it, let me get to the let me disable this and fill in the line art. So yeah. Okay. Is there any negative space that I overpainted a little bit here? So let me clean it up. Okay. So now I can bring it back, and on the next layer, clipped in here to the layer below, I can use my pre-selected colors to quickly fill in the color, fill in the base colors. It's okay if there is like a slight like overspill of the color. It happens in nature. And for the meat, I will use this one. So right now it looks like very plain, but this is where I am going with the additional colors. So on the next layer, I will bring out like the deeper colors, the color of the these like burnt marks, the colors of the like different colors of the stem, different colors of the oh wait, speaking of different colors of the stem, let me pick up this color as well, this slightly greenish yellow color, and this yellow color for the potatoes, yes, so I can use them. Oh my god, the devil inside me tells me, hey Nina, make the palette with the food colors, and I try to say like no, although it would be pretty useful, but right now I try to say no no to that. So I'm coloring the stems, giving it a bit of variation of color. Now with the color of the secondary color of the sprouts, I am filling it in, like not following the shadows right now, just trying to give a little bit of interest to a little bit of color of the interest to the whole, like to the broccoli, to make it more realistic. And especially look at the references, because as you see, there are parts, especially at the top, that are darker green than the parts around it. So I should be focusing more at the top right here and right here. And yeah, using a little bit of more of a fresh green inside where there is lesser sunlight accessible. So using a fresh green color for that. Like, all I learned is that I need to study and look and make sense of what I'm seeing, because right now when I see that, okay, there are darker parts at the top, lighter at the bottom, and there is a logical explanation for that, I can right now code this in my brain that, oh yeah, this actually makes sense, and I will actually remember this. So yeah. So yeah, references are your friend. References are your friend. Okay. Like, it looks already like much better. compared to that. Like, you need to admit that. Okay. Potatoes. Okay, so I'm using the same fluffy brush, and I am just adding a little bit of yellow in a more yellowish in a circular motion to fluffy up these potatoes. But here I am focusing on the darkest areas, so the areas where the light is not hitting. Yeah. And now the pork chop. Okay, so for pork chop, the more burned areas are the areas that are, you know, more to the top. The rim usually is not as well. Pork chops are usually like pretty flat, so they are not as burnt on the sides. Usually like fry them on one side and on the other side. They are not thick enough to fry them around, unless you're using you're frying them in deep oil. Then the burnt marks are pretty much even. But here I'm like drawing like a very like classic pork chop, which is fried on a pan. So this is why the area that are you know higher. So the rim, slightly around the rim, not the rim itself, but slightly around the rim, as you see in here. So slightly around the rim would be like most burnt. And at the very top. So for example, this area might be like a bit on top, this area, you know, whatever looks good, and look at your reference. I will slightly brush the warmer orange around. Yeah, it looks like, see, it looks much better already. Okay, so the next thing is shading. So shading, for shading the food, I will use a different color than for shading the background. I will use a warm brown, like reddish brown. And right now I'm keeping in mind the direction of the light and the placement of the light source, and yeah, I will shade accordingly to that. And using brown instead of like any other color will assure me that the colors mixed will not be mudded. Because if I would use my regular purple to shade, well, purple with orange, well, they will not go well together. Purple with these yellow potatoes, it will just look gray. And we don't want desaturated colors when drawing food, okay? So, let me quickly just put the shading. Not that hard. Okay, and underneath all of that, on top of the on top of the layer with the shading for the plate itself, I will use another shading layer. But here I will use the colors of the food itself to shade. Because from what I've seen, the food like reflects its color onto the plate. So yeah, so it will be lightly like slightly more yeah, it looks fine. It looks fine. Okay, highlights time. Highlights time. So, time to go to add. Well, yeah, no. First off, soft light. Soft light. In soft light we trust. Okay. This is like, I don't know how. I don't know what my life was before I discovered the soft light layer. And let's just gently brush it on with like warm yellow. Same with the plate. I will copy this layer in here and just put it on top of the plate ever so slightly. And then on top of that, I will add highlights. So new layer with the add mode. Sometimes screen mode also works well, but in my experience, screen mode works well for highlights and light sources that are cooler in shade. So neutral grays, neutral whites, and like blues. Great for screen. For the warmer hues of light, so like sun, like add and hard light and soft light work better in my experience. So okay, so let me take again the color of my light source and add some highlights. So broccoli, very few highlights, just some of the you know, bits are lit. Just some of them. Potatoes, a little bit more, but they are fluffy. More fluffy. More fluffy. Yeah. Especially on like ricin areas. And pork chops usually appear wet, like you can notice. Let me mark them with red. You see a highlight, wrong layer. You can see like a highlight here, like a little bit of very irregular highlights in here, highlight around this rim. Like you see these little like dots. This also like shows the texture. Highlights here, highlights there, here by the rim, and there. Like this is all highlights. So I will do the same in here for this pork chop, or at least attempt to. So So following the light source, knowing that the light source comes from this side, putting on some highlights. They are like more contrasting and therefore look more juicy. Because, well, you just took this like pork chop from frying pan with oil or other, like, you know, fat substance that you use to fry with. So this will be slightly glossy. So okay, so this looks nice, but the last thing would be what is on this layer? No object to transform. Perfect. Okay, so the last thing for me, what I've also learned, would be to use new layer, correction layer, and metal with saturation and metal with color balance. And I will use right now color balance. Well, you don't see the, you probably don't see the pop-up window right now. No, you don't see it. But there is a color balance window, and you can select what areas you want to affect. So there are a couple of areas. There is shadow, halftones, and highlights. 3 areas. And for each of these areas, you can select a different color balance. So for me, so for the food pictures, as I've seen, the shadows go more in red. So I'm making the cyan red bar more towards red, and you can already see the difference that it makes into the picture, that it does to the picture. For halftones, I will go with more orange, so a little bit of yellow and a little bit of red. And for highlights, actually, we can go either magenta, very like bright pink, or bright green. And I will choose bright green, so I'm mixing green with yellow. And look, this is with the color balance layer on. This is without it. Without it. Let me actually just select this. Oh yeah, only these parts to be affected. So yeah, without, with. What's happening? Go in the first minute. Go in the first minute? Oh my god. My sister is watching the Austria-Turkey match in here. Oh my god. Oh my god. I swear, these championships are something different. But yeah, but look, it looks okay. It looks tasty, doesn't it? Let me save. And yeah, and if nobody objects, I will do the same but with the chicken breast, the pea and rice. Okay? So yeah, let me actually no, I will compile a Twitter post later to see the before and after of, you know, of drawing, before and after of drawing food. Okay, so this one is, okay, let me make a subfolder for that. Okay. This will be the pork chop. And the new folder will be chicken. Okay, the one thing I will need from pork chop is my, well, all of these. So my refs will be the same, the background will be the same, and the plate. Okay. Oh wait, I made this and I haven't put this away. I made the new folder and I haven't put anything away. Okay. So, time for the chicken. So I will do the same as I did last time. So trace what I had before to have the same position of each element of the dish. Grab, color pick some colors from the reference picture, line art, flat colors, all the good stuff. Okay. Let's actually go. So, what do I have here? I have 2 scoops of rice. Oh, rice will be so hard because it's like so much, like so many little grains to draw. Oh, and the chicken would be cut. So yeah, the chicken inside, it has a different color than outside. And there will be also like these like juices. Like I personally, like I try to draw food that I don't necessarily like. Because, you know, sometimes I need to draw things that I don't like. And this is how some, you know, not work within your comfort zone. Sometimes you need to go out of it, you know, in order to grow as an artist, but I'm usually within it. I'm fine with it, fine with drawing my OCs, fine with drawing you know, the same stuff, but I want to learn right now. So I'm going out of the comfort zone, and I don't like cooked peas, and I don't like cooked carrot, but peas more. And I don't like when my food is like in sauce or has like really like, it's like really like wet and juicy. No, my food needs to be dry. The thicker the sauce, the better. I don't like when, especially when sauce from, like for example, from a salad, like here, if this salad had like Caesar sauce, I don't want to eat like cold sauce near my warm chicken. No, I don't like it. It's a texture thing for me. Okay, so transform, enlarge, move it here, position properly. On the plate. Wonderful. And yeah, and I can proceed. So yeah, first thing first, I will just pick some colors. So peas. Oh, a little bit of this fresh green. Yes, carrot. And a darker tone. Rice. Rice is like, look, rice is even like kind of pinkish in this photo. And chicken breast. Oh my god. Okay, so the chicken meat, when cooked properly, it's like really light. It's white. It's almost white. And then the grilled marks. I will use, yeah, this color. Again, grilled marks and burnt marks only on the areas that are risen. And eventually a darker shade in here. Okay. Okay, time to ink. And this will be hard. This will be hard. Okay. It's like so jagged, but at the same time, okay, let me try it by tracing. It's so jagged, but at the same time so smooth. Like there are so many like bumps, but these bumps are really like regular. And yeah, and I'm not as masochist. You know, I'm not a masochist. I don't want to trace each grain. And I don't have a special brush for drawing grains of rice. I actually want to learn how to do this, especially when I learn how to do this. Ingrain this in my muscle, ingrain this in my brain, so I can replicate it, for example, on, you know, on a paper, where I won't have like fancy rice brushes, you know? So yeah. Oops. And the piece, again, the piece, round, overlapping round, and yeah, and cubes on top of that. Okay. And in here, it's like pretty, it's not as jagged. There are some jagged parts, but it's like pretty smooth compared to the like fully deep fried and with crumbled bread coating, you know? Okay, let's do this. So let's start with peas. Oh, let's actually use the vector layer. I think it will be easier for me to edit it then. I will draw some bigger, smaller, overlapping piece around. But pieces are pretty uniform in size, so I will try to do this at least to have like a good outline, and every once in a while throw in like a cubic shape for the carrot. And using vector layers will help me with the cleanup later. Oh, and I can also, why I haven't done this earlier, like when I was drawing the comic, I can make the clumps of just some, you know, some lonely piece. You know, they were just scooped from the pot. Okay, some carrots right now. This carrot will be among peas. And yeah, right now this will just make me go absolutely like crazy, like more than rice, I think, to draw each like individual like pea. And I will try to not go this way, not go the way of drawing each pea separately. So I'll try to just add some peas at the top and just some arcs, just to mark that there are also like some piece in there. Oh my god, this looks... You know what, I will probably never draw piece with carrot ever again. Ever again. Because of that. I'm trying to draw arches to show like an overlapping P, you know, on top of another P, and I hope that through shading I will do the rest. But oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, this is so hard. Okay. Let's go to rice, shall we? So, rice. So, jagged, repeated pattern. Maybe also like a slight overlap of some, you know, some grains. Oh, maybe individual grains close to the line art on top of it. I will try to randomize the shape because knowing myself, I will just go like this for the rest of the line art, and this is not what I want. I will try to make this little like bump of rice like kind of separate. Because it overlaps the rim of the plate. Yes. Okay. I mean, does it look rice enough? I think it does. For my abilities, for the time constraints I have, and for my own sanity, I think it will be hashtag good enough, as my good friend Sam says. This is too many repeats. You see, I'm repeating the pattern and I don't want this. This is like something I struggle with. I struggle with randomization, with truly randomizing what I'm drawing. Like, this is why I also don't like drawing crowds, because if I need to come up with really like random designs, I struggle with it. For like every like character that just appears on one panel, in one panel, and then never again, I would go crazy. Again, I need to be like so focused to not make a pattern. Okay, the overlap needs to be here right now because I'm getting closer to the part that is overlapping the plate, the rim of the plate at least. And again, I can just make some of the like grains like fall from the and make like they're small like clumps. And I think it will add a little bit more realism. Okay, time in here and then clean up. Okay, it looks a bit cartoony. It's okay. This is how I draw. I can draw realistic, but not at this scale, not with this medium. Let me draw small clumps of rice on top. Okay, and chicken time. So I'm using a little bit shaky line art, but not as shaky as with the pork chop. It's a bit smoother. Now the grill marks, I think I will also, yeah. Have it as line art, and time for cleanup. So let me deselect, turn off the visibility. What I eat it? Okay, I want to delete this layer. Yeah, and now with vector, when I'm using vector layers, I can just right now go over and just erase overlapping lines like that. Especially here. You see, I use like less I actually make fewer motions while erasing like that. Oh, and I think I will just, yeah, erase some of the piece, at least like the inside, you know, inside, well, not edge, but just the inside, inside side of some of the piece in order for them to appear more. Well, if I would, you know, make the outside just like this, it would look bad, because the inside, it would just look that this inside is like desolate. It has no piece. But if I start erasing a bit of like piece, leaving some individual piece like intact, then what I did on the inside, which is also the same thing, makes more sense, and the whole like element looks more cohesive. So yeah. So yeah. Okay, let me just connect those, cause you know, in the next step it will be important for me to have connected and closed contours. Hi Milo, do you want to come to the stream? Milo, don't. You have half an hour till your next walk. Oh, time to stretch. Okay, in a moment. Okay. Yes, I want him. Let me stretch and, you know, have some repair my sanity from those peas. Okay. And in the meantime, okay, new layer. Let me quickly enclose fill. Hope that there is no negative space. I don't see any negative space. Oh no, I see a bit. Okay, wonderful. New layer. Save. Give me my dog. Give me my dog. Everybody, Milo is here. Milo is here. Hi, Milo. Say hello to the stream. What? Are you watching the match? Oh, he usually doesn't like football matches. It's like, even if they are on TV, like they are really like annoying for him. But right now, this year, he's like very chill about it, which is great. Milo, Milo. Baby, my baby. It's been a while since Milo was on stream. In the meantime, he was groomed twice. Yeah. Yeah. Scratches, scratches. Scratches, scratches. Oh, yeah, this is good. Yeah. Head scratches. Oh, how I love when he closes his eyes. Just like that. Like it feels like he's like really like it's really pleasant for him, right? Oh, look, who is this doggy in here? It's you. Oh, my baby. Can you believe that Milo is 7 years old? Like I can't. Like when I think that I got Milo, that we got Milo when I was still doing my master's degree. Yeah, yeah, Milo. Yeah, you're fine. Yeah, will you wait for me? I will go out with you, but after the stream, okay? Okay, I will keep him on my lap. In the meantime, Milo. So his little head might be poking, might be poking, or I will just, keep him with one arm and draw with another, right? Right, Milo? He smells something. He smells something. Oh. He, his, his nostrils are moving so much like Milo, Milo, my baby. What are you sniffing? Okay, let me color this thing. I don't actually know how to color this piece. I think I will just clump them together and just color the whole area. And yes, I know there is way too many pieces for the amount of carrot. I don't care. It's peas with carrot, not carrot with peas. So there is like an abundance of peas right now. Huh? I see that I haven't cleaned the line art there. Milo, what's going on? Oh, okay. I see. You don't like it. You don't want to be here anymore. Okay, I will let you out. I will let you go. Okay. But please be nice. I still have 25 minutes of stream, okay? So Milo, say goodbye to the stream. Bye-bye. And there you go. Okay, back, and I see that, oh my god, how is it that I'm so blind for like some line art issues? Usually when I flat, this is where I notice like, okay, this part is like, this part is not good. This part is not good. Okay, rice time. It's funny that this is like slightly pinkish color, but compared to every other color, like it looks slightly like cream yellow, which is what I would usually like say the rice is like. Okay, and the chicken. Yeah, the chicken looks really pale in comparison, but worry not. I have more layers to attach to this, here. Okay, so next thing is some coloring. So I take the secondary color for the carrot and just brush it like here and there. It's not doing that much of the difference because there is not that much carrot in here, but right now I'm taking the piece and yeah, just doing circular motions, dotting, and I think this will just add to make you believe that these are really like peas and not anything else. I don't even know what else would it be. Like what kind of like concoction it would be, okay, color for the rice. I am making a smaller brush to be able to, yeah, just do very like jagged lines, which I think would add, yeah, they are adding to the texture, so yeah. And I'm adding those especially in the darkest areas. So I'm just doing a little bit of this motion and like a little straight lines, but in other direction, and I'm overlapping them so they look like grains of, yes. Okay, chicken time. I think I will leave the marks on the next layer, and first I will just brush a little bit of more of this like light orange on top of the chicken and in some places, because it's like, it looks like really, 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 really bad. I will leave the base color in the inside, you know, as a because it's the chicken color. And yeah, and new layer. This one, I think I will use multiply. And let's go with the grill marks and burnt marks. Like alongside the grill marks. A little bit on the area, ripen areas, so around the edges, a little bit in the middle, but deepest colors will be in the recess of where the burnt marks are, where the grill marks are. So there I'm using like, I will apply more pressure. Okay, and the darkest one, the darkest color with the smallest brush, and just I think I may try and add, given that I have some time, I may try and add a little bit of spices on top. Let me add a little bit of cream here on the inside. Just a bit. Okay, and let me add some spices. So I will do this on top of the line art layer. Let me get a brush. Is this brush okay? I think it does. Okay, it is okay. Okay. And let me just slightly brush this on top. Okay, going back to my burnt areas, and let me quickly with the smallest brush add, yeah, the marks right there. Okay, and I feel this chicken would benefit from another layer, but in between and with lower opacity, to ever so slightly brush a bit more orange to make it appear a bit more cooked. Just a bit more. And let me get this color for the middle, because I don't like how the middle looks like. Let me use maybe a rice color for the inside. Okay, I will leave it like this. Okay, I think the spices here added a lot. So now, shading. Yes, shading. So multiply. Are you going with him? No? No or yes? Okay. I thought I heard his leash being taken out. Okay. And time for shading. So shading, shading, shading. Ah, I see.
I already were with him 2 times.
So I'm using, yeah, just a little bit of, yeah, okay. Okay. And yeah, soft light. Let me actually take the soft light layer from here. Soft light, and then add for highlights. So soft light. Soft light right there, and highlights in the add mode. And okay, and chicken, let me look at your highlights. Okay, there are some juicy highlights on the burn marks. Okay, so I need to remember that. On rice is pretty matte, and peas have a lot of highlights, and there are some highlights on the carrot. Okay, oh, let's try to not get overwhelmed. So the high parts of the carrots, so around the edges, as I see, high parts of the piece, which is like I will try to add some random dots. On the piece that are not foam, and some more deliberate dots on the piece that have all of their edges, you know. I will try to add maybe a bit of little arches right here. I'm trying to come up with a thing that will help me with the texture. I don't know if I will come up with anything else. Yeah, I'm just laying some dots like in not regular manner and kind of dragging them out, because I see that this is like roughly the shape of highlights on the food. And for the rice I'm using my regular brush and just doing the crisscrossing motions on all of the high areas. Okay, and now as the last thing, let me take my color balance layer on top, but let me check. Okay, so red, yeah, let's go to a little bit more red, half tones. Let's go with more yellow than red, and highlights. Let's really try magenta highlights. No, green highlights. A little bit of green. Okay. This looks better. We need to admit. Oh wait, I haven't finished. Wait, I haven't finished. On a plate, new layer on multiply, and I need to put the shadows that the food casts. So yeah, so I need to oh wait, I need to put it on multiply 50. Okay. I mean, I think it looks good. So, we have chicken breast with rice and peas and carrots, and pork chop with broccoli and potato puree. Like, right now I'm liking the chicken more. Right now. Although it's, like, I think the detail in the rice, like, and the detail in the, like, spices make it sell it more, I feel. But both of them are really good. And I need to pat myself in the back for doing this job. So yeah, so let me actually export both of these like pictures, and this will be food study. Pork chop today is 2nd of July. Yes. And this will be for the chicken. Same date. Okay. This looks good. This looks good. Both of these look good. This also looks good. So yeah, I can say GG Nina. And yeah. There is progress, but yeah, considering that I took like far more time into drawing a singular dish. Like, it took me like, each of these dishes took me around 40 minutes, I would say, 45. So yeah, and while drawing the comic, I don't know how long it took me to draw this dish. Maybe 10 minutes to line it, at least. So yeah, so this is actually all I have prepared for you today. So thank you all for watching, thank you for chatting, lurking, and spending some time with me. And I see I have some followers to also thank. So thank you, Loborondas. I recognize your name. Thank you, Aurora Butterfly X. And thank you, Titar, for following me. It is like an honor. Like, a real celebrity is here, you know, in the following, among the followers. So this is nice. Like, yeah. So I am going. I'm turning off the stream, going with Milo, and when I'm back, I'm actually going on Titar's YouTube channel to hang out in there for the remaining of the night, because he also right now has a stream, and recently after my stream I go and hang around on his streams. Like, they're really fun. He plays retro games, mostly Sims games, so you know, I'm a Sims girly, so yeah, it is up my alley. So thank you all so much for watching. Thank you for chatting, lurking, and spending some time with me. Hope you will stay safe, stay healthy, take care of yourselves, and I will see you all next stream. So goodbye.